Welcome to School Plus. We are going to talk to all people related to education and schools, whether they are principals, whether they are teachers, parents, children. These are tough times we are going through. The COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted education and education delivery like nothing ever before. No one has been left unaffected. The small school in the village, the large international school in the city, the parent at home, the tutor who provides classes, the principal, the class teacher, or even the student. Amidst all the hue and cry, the education sector is that sector which has faced the earliest lockdown, has suffered the most. And it almost seems that nobody is bothered about what education is going to, what is happening to our education sector. And it has gone down to the lowest point in the priority list. However, this is an initiative to try and create a platform so that all the stakeholders, and we all are stakeholders in education, get a place to voice their opinions, tell us their stories, not just about the COVID, not just about the pandemic, but also about education, also about their dreams, aspirations, ambitions. It is with that in mind that we are starting today's a little chat with two children. Are they children? One is a child of class 10 and one is a young man in class 12, just turned 18. Both are at critical phases in life. A girl who prepared for her board exams to see the exams being cancelled. Elation, disappointment, let's find out. And the boy or the young man who has been preparing for class 12, preparing for the various competitive exams, who has dreams of his future life, of college, of what he wants to be, of what wings he wants to give to his dreams. And he sees nothing but a vacant space in future. So let's talk to them and listen to them what they think about all this. So welcoming with us, first we have Saharsh Agarwal of Don Bosco School, Calcutta, a student of class 12. Let's talk to him. Welcome Saharsh, and we would like to know a number of things, your opinions, your thoughts on the present situation and your present situation. Saharsh, a little introduction about yourself. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Sayash Agrawal, studying in class 12 at Don Bosco Park Circus. We were supposed to have give our board examinations in March, but due to the pandemic, the board was postponed indefinitely. Uh, and also the competitive exams, the GD and other entrance examinations. So we do not have any idea right now as to when these exams are going to be held. And so we have to just keep preparing because we have got so much time and hope that these exams are held as quickly as possible and we can go to the next stage. Uh,
Okay, Saharsh. So tell me, how has been your last year study from home? We hear of work from home, How has it been study from home? We don't hear of study from home too often, do we? But for a majority of children, it's been study from home. Tell us, how has been your experience of study from home?
Studying online at home is different from actually going to the school and studying in a classroom. Firstly, the number of periods are less than half. The duration of each class is also not as much as it was in the physical classroom. And the teachers, being not so tech savvy, have difficulties while teaching us and trying to present something to us. And the online school starts at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, whereas the physical school started at 8 o'clock. So we could get up slightly later than usual. And the school got over earlier than usual. We also didn't have homeworks, projects, and other. We had assignments and all, but not to that extent as other years.
Uh, as I understand, how have you been using technology in this? What has technology, what kind of a role has it played in enabling delivery of education over the past year?
Most of the schools have started to use Zoom for online schooling, but our school has gone for a more secure option, more organized option, Microsoft Teams. So they have made an account for each student, each teacher, and they have scheduled meetings for each period. So students and teachers are supposed to join during that time, and they are supposed to log in with their own accounts and have their classes. So that is how we are using technology to study from home.
Okay. And how has it been? See, class 12 is a year where you would have been the most senior student in your school. How would you rate yourself as a student academically? Were you a good student, a backbencher, or a topper? What was it like?
I used to get decent marks, but they were not topper level marks, but they were good. I got good marks. I still get better marks than most of my friends. So
So we could categorize you as a good boy. Is that it? Fine, your smile tells it all. Anyway, so tell me, what were your aspirations? What did you hope to take after class 12? Are you into science or commerce or humanities? And which board were you studying in?
as I mentioned, I have been preparing for competitive exams like JEE. So that is mainly for science students, physics, chemistry, and maths. They test physics, chemistry, and maths. So I'm studying in Don Bosco Park Circuit, which is an ICSE school. So I was preparing for the ISC board examinations, and I've taken science along with computer science and EVS.
So, what do you hope to become in your future? What do you want to take up as a career?
I want to take up computer science engineering, computer software engineering in the college, IITs. That is what I aim for.
So, how was your preparation going along for the last year before this COVID came along?
Preparation was going on quite good, but this year, last year, that 2020, it got hampered a little. I'm trying to improve right now.
So, were you taking some coaching classes, or was the education at school all you were using, or were you doing some reference books or group study, or some kind of a extra tutorial that you were taking?
And from my school, which was teaching quite well, I used to go for, I still go for coaching classes at Zenith Institute for preparing for the IIT JEE examination. So they give a lot of question papers and the question solutions and all those things, and they prepare for the exam, how to take the exam. It's like that, how to
So,
do it.
so do you think how is your preparation at this Zenith Institute which you mentioned? How has that been affected by the COVID pandemic per se?
And just like the school, the physical classes at Zenith Institute were stopped, and so we had to go for the online mode. Initially, they used to record videos or used pre-recorded videos from last year and upload it to their website, and we were supposed to log in and watch those videos, those lectures that used to give. And we already had the booklets with us, so the booklets which contained the text and the questions, so we were supposed to refer to them while seeing the videos.
All right. So anyway, apart from studies, let me come. Uh, how has it been? See, 12 is, as I was mentioning, the year when you are the senior most. You probably are given some positions of responsibility at school, like a prefect or a monitor or a leader, or you have a lot of co-curricular activities where you can lead the team. Uh, how has it's been a sad year, but how has it affected you? You having missed out this entire year of class 12 activities.
I was planning to take part in a lot of activities this year and last year, but due to this COVID, I could not take part in these activities. Mainly Scouts, which I'm Scouts organization, the Scouts movement in our school. So I was supposed to be the troop leader of our Scouts troop this year, but uh, we did not have any formal Scouts classes, not even in the online mode. So we had the Independence Day and Republic Day celebrations and the night camp at the end March, this March. But that was all that we had. Nothing apart from that. So this year was this.
Apart from your classes, are you all able to interact among your friends, among your school friends, or is it that the COVID has managed to distance us physically as well as socially?
I am in touch with most of my close friends uh, on calls on WhatsApp and other sources, but no, like some other close friends and most of my other classmates have not been able. I have not been able to meet them since the pandemic.
So, do you miss them?
Huh?
Do you miss them?
Not that much, little.
But do you miss that whole camaraderie and that hullabaloo and that shouting and that fun and going to school and having those addas and having those get-togethers, chats, talking about careers? How important do you think was that? And do you miss that? If yes, or if not?
Yes, I definitely miss all of those things. Uh, Especially this was the last, especially when this was the last year at school. So, but we didn't have all of those like our seniors used to have. So all of us miss that.
Uh, a little question about now that you are an adult. What do you think? Do you think the government has been able to handle this COVID properly, or do you think it could have been handled differently from your point of view?
The government, both at the center and at the state level, they have tried tried a lot to contain this virus, but they have not done to their full extent. And but the main responsibility is on the people, on the citizens. They should have been more careful after the first wave. They should have been alerted and been more cautious about the second wave.
So, do you think the government or the Department of Education has taken right decisions, or you think the decisions related to education, like your joint entrance or your school or your board exams, they could have been different, or do you think they were justified and they are correct?
Yes, when the cases are rising so much each day, we are having nearly 4 lakh cases. So risking the lives of students who will in turn risk the lives of their family members and the elders at their home. So this postponement of the exams and cancellation of class 10 exams and all of these things, they are justified and they were required.
Uh, Now, since it has been such a difficult time, how difficult has it been to keep your focus on study? Because your 12 is not yet over. Your 12 is still pending. Your joint entrance is still pending. So, is it difficult to keep your focus, or are you getting carried away, or have you lost focus? Or are you focused?
Trying to keep in focus until all my examinations are over, but due to this indefinite extension of the examination dates, it's difficult to stay focused. It's difficult to uh, stay focused, having no aim for any date as such that I have to prepare by such date.
So, what do you do at home to pass away the time apart from study? And how do you think you can utilize this time? Do you think you've been able to utilize this time in some way that has added value to you, or do you think it has been a wasteful year?
I have learned many things in this year, especially since I am a coding enthusiast. I have learned few programming languages and I have made some websites and I have learned many more things apart from coding uh, and apart from that coding for my spend time apart from studying and coding I spend time playing games watching uh, news videos in the newspaper and yeah.
A little bee has come to my ear and told me that you tried to make a small website to collect resources for the COVID related people. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, and in the last week I have tried to make a website to collect all the COVID related information like the availability of resources such as beds, oxygen, ambulance, and all of these things in one place so that people have to just go to that one place and find out if there is any available resource in their area. People, if they have any, they can add over there for others to see.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm sure your initiative will go a lot of way, and it's young people like you who selflessly spend their time, resources, energies, and we need new ideas. We are a young nation. We should be led by young people. Innovations in thought, innovation in process, innovation in methods of delivery, innovation in the way we think, and I'm sure some young leaders will come up with innovation in education. So all the best, Saharsh. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, and keep focused. We hope you'll get into IIT and come out as a shining star. So here we have Saharsh, and Saharsh, see you. All the best. Thank you. So that was Saharsh Agrawal, a young, bright, young lad of 18 who just turned 18, and we saw what apprehensions he has, how he has come to terms with the COVID-19 pandemic, how he hopes to contribute. That is the spirit of the nation. Now we have with us a young girl, Khushi Agarwal. She is also at a critical juncture in life because she is in class 10. Her board exams. Let's find out from her. Let's find out from her without much ado and talk to her and see what her point of view is as a young citizen just entering the phase when she is growing into an adult, a young student who's turned senior in class 10, a young girl in this modern 21st century. Let's welcome Khushi Agrawal. Welcome, Khushi.
Thank you.
I can see, as your name indicates, you look like a very happy girl. Well, Khushi. Welcome to this small tete-a-tete with School Plus, and we would just like to talk to you, nothing much, not an interview, just want to know your views because you are among the majority and the most important segment of society that India is growing on. Just give us a little introduction about yourself so we get to know you and then we can start this.
Hello, I am Kushi Agarwal. I study in class 10 in Sushila Villa Girls School. Uh, this year, my board has been cancelled, so a part of me is very happy, but a little part of me was also very excited for the board exams. So,
Okay, so you are with the CBSE board or the ICSE board?
CBSE board.
CBSE board. So the exams got cancelled. Now that day, did you celebrate or did you mourn?
So I celebrated a little.
I can make out from your smile that little must have been quite a lot. Anyway, tell us, how has this last year been for you? Because even you had moved on to class 10, and as a senior student, you would have, had the opportunity to do so much more, meet so many more friends, uh, and of course, study a lot. So, how has this last year, because of this COVID pandemic, affected you?
So the last year has been a little different from all the years, of course, because suddenly everything was shifted. Like the main thing, the schooling had been shifted to online, to the online platform instead of offline. So because I was in class 9 that time, so in class 9 and 10 we have the same section. So the sections were not shuffled, and so I had the same friends for that time. Uh, then um, then during the online classes, it was we can say that it was a blessing in disguise because firstly we did not have to wake up early. But at the same time we could not meet our friends and the teachers physically. Then we also there were many network issues which were happening. Many people were not available at a certain time when the classes were supposed to happen because the timing was totally affected a lot because of this online thing. And yeah,
Okay. So, tell me, what was more important? What was more striking, let us say, not meeting your friends or missing out on the activities?
both. We
So,
cannot choose in between. I was missing doing the activities with my friends.
oh, that's a smart one. Now, tell me, now that your 10 has been cancelled, do you think it was a right decision by the government to take, or do you think the exams could have been held in a postponed manner or a staggered manner?
I think that the decision was right at that time. It was the right thing because also it is not forcing someone not to give the exam. It is giving us the option that if we want, we can give the exam. So if a person is not satisfied with their marks in the pre-boards or whatever criteria the results will come out, that person can reappear for the exam if they want. But and also if the exams would have been postponed, then as we all know, the virus is not the effect of the virus is not stopped, and it is spreading a lot. Now that the second wave has come, then it is affecting a lot of lives, and therefore I think the government, no one wants to you know
Take a
we
chance.
are the
Correct.
future generation, right? So uh, they were just preventing because prevention is better than cure.
All right. Uh, so tell me, but don't you think somewhere now you must have always come up with this feeling that the class 10 marks were so important. The class 10 exam was a life changing examination. The class 10 was so vital. And now you are actually not appearing and you don't even know what mark sheet you will get, which you will carry for your life.
Yes. Uh, yes, but we cannot do anything. It is not in our hands.
So maybe it could also be that all these years that you were told that class 10 was so important wasn't actually so important after all.
Maybe.
Fine. Anyway, Kushi, that's nice. Tell me, how have you been spending these last months and this last year? Apart from study, I can see that you have been talking to a lot of friends. Apart from that, how have you been? Have you been able to use this time fruitfully, or what have you done? What have you learned?
In the whole year.
Last few months, the whole year, absolutely. It's been a year now. It's been a long, long time.
So, in the last year, of course, I've learned a lot about technology because that had become the new normal. So, many things which I did not know earlier, I got to know about them. And talking to friends, we did not used to talk a lot. We used to talk during the school hours, and then after that a little bit through WhatsApp and all. Then new things. I think I've learned a few dishes in the last few days, and yeah.
Uh, there is a vast majority of students whose schools don't have class 10 and 12 in the rural areas. What do you think this cancellation of exams would mean for them? Because how they were to now get admission into an institution with class 11, that has become a question mark.
I think that this may create a huge problem in the near future because because maybe the people who have class 11 and 12, maybe they do not get admission, but the people who do not have, if they because since because of this pandemic, most people are whoever the people who were even thinking of changing their schools or something, they many of them have cancelled their plan. So new admission, the vacancy for the seat, there'll not be a huge number. So that's why the people who do not have class 11 and 12 in their schools may have a problem for admission. Um, and also they right now we do not know on which uh, on what basis our marks our final results of the class 10 examination will come. So nothing is guaranteed to them.
You seem to be too happy to have the exams cancelled to be bothered about all that.
No.
Anyway, anyway, that is good for you. Uh, uh, do you follow? Now you're in class 10, so obviously you cannot have avoided the news and you cannot have avoided what is going around us. So, what do you and people, your friends, feel about how the government has been able to handle this whole pandemic and this COVID-19? Whether it is handled well or whether it could have been done better or differently?
I think that both the central government and the state government both have handled the situation well, but they can do a little more, especially for especially the tests. The corona tests are not being taken so often. As in, if even if they are taken, the in many hospitals the doctors are even hiding the results. So because and also there's a um, shortage of beds and shortage of hospitals, and many people don't even know where to go if they have the virus. So I think the situation is handled well, but they can do better because they can also like in our society, there should be a rule like every society must have a corona test done. In our society, the corona test has not been done till now. Like every person has not taken the test.
Agreed, agreed. That is fine. That's a good idea. Now, I want to ask you, do you think like markets are open, amusement parks are open, zoos were open, restaurants, hotels, holidays, religious functions, marriages, weddings, everything was open, but schools were closed. What do you think of that?
I think that if the schools are closed, like education is a very important part of our life, and matlab, education is a very important segment. So, because all these things were open, it does not make any sense. Because since all the people were going out to the museums, to parks, to the theaters, to marriages, weddings, and all. They were all going out, so maybe that the children were also going out with them. So if the children go to school and learn something, that's better than going out somewhere else and for fun and having the virus and coming.
So, many people are of the opinion that if you close down schools, you should close down everything else, and if everything else is open, school should also open. Do you subscribe to that opinion?
Yes, I think that if everything is open, the school should also be open, but the school should everywhere the precautions should be taken properly and
So, has your school been taking precautions? Did your school open for some time, or was it closed for the last entire full year?
no, to the in the second term, for few days, our school was open. We went to school. Only class 10s and 12s were called to school when the number of cases had deteriorated a little bit. Our school had taken all the precautions because when we entered school, there were two sanitizers kept on both the sides of on all the gates and both the sides. So we had to sanitize our hands as soon as entering. And then the seating arrangement was also such that we were maintaining a lot of distance between two students and between the student and the teacher. Also, like in earlier in breaks, we would share food, we would go out and talk to our friends, play and all. But because of this situation, this was all banned, and we were asked to sit down on our places and have
Oh, so that's good. That's good. Now, tell me, how do you see the future? What do you think this is leading us to? And how do you see your class 11 and 12 coming up, a vital 2 years of your life? And what do you want to become uh, after your education? What do you want to take up as a career?
um, right now, I don't know what I want to take up as my career. I've not decided anything. And in the near future, I think we'll have online classes only in class 11 also. Maybe in 12 we'll have physical classes. But as such, I don't think with the number of cases rising up, we'll have all offline classes right now. And um, I hope the 2 years go well.
Fine. It was fantastic talking to you, Khushi. And I wish you all the best in whatever you do. Stay happy, keep smiling, and let's all work towards an India, a world where we are less affected by pandemics like this, which disrupt the way we live. Thank you, Khushi. It was a nice time talking to you and wishing you all the best once again. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
So that was a small tete-a-tete with Khushi Agrawal, a student of class 10. As you can see, uh, class 10 seems to be a little less affected than class 12, but maybe they are not as grown up. They have still probably not understood the implications of how this education disruption has is going to affect them. Uh, anyway, these were views of the children. We'll come back again with views of educators, of parents, smaller children, tiny tots, elder children from the rural areas, from the urban areas, and let us see what they think. Let us see what they feel. This is Ajay Agarwal from School Plus signing off. Thank you.